So I know I missed yesterday's walk, and I have a good reason. And the reason is everything just went wrong and I didn't have time. And the story behind that is this. Joseph wakes up at 5 a.m., gets ready, goes to work about 5:30 a.m. I go back to sleep. He comes back saying his car isn't working right. I go out, check it with him. It's making those I don't want to start up noise. Like his car is like, you know. And it does eventually start. And he's saying, well, now the service power steering button is, or the light, the service power steering light is on. And I'm like, okay, there's something wrong with his car. Take my car. I'm unemployed, so I ain't going to work. So take my car. I'll see about trying to find a place to fix your car. And he's like, okay. Takes my car, goes to work. I call my mom because all I want is advice on where to take it. You know? All I want to know is like, where should I take this? And I know she's at work and she can't take care of it for me. I know I'm going to have to take it somewhere myself. So I just call her. She's on her way to work. And I think she has like wireless calling, or not wireless, but like Bluetooth. Anyway. But she's able to pick up and she's like, call your dad. And my dad left for a business trip, but mom said he should still be at the airport. So I give him a quick call and I'm like, hey, this is what's happening with the car. Where should I take my car? And he's like, take it to the dealership. They'll fix it. And I'm like, oh, okay. And the dealership is about 30 minutes away, but that's fine. And I take my husband's big boat of a car and I drive it over there. I'm a little nervous because A, I'm already an emotional wreck, and B, I'm not 100% sure where to go or what to do. You know, but I just find a parking spot. I go into the service door and I'm like, hey, dude, this is what's happening with my car. Or this is what's happening with my husband's car. Can you take a look at it? And he's like, yeah, sure. It'll take 2.5 hours to do a diagnostic. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just wait it out in the waiting room. Because, you know, whenever you take your car to a dealership, it is going to take a long time. So I brought my charger and I brought some headphones. The Wi-Fi sucked, but, you know, that's what they invented data for. So I watched a little YouTube, I play some games on my phone, I just waited out. Joseph gets on his break and says, hey, I have 6 hours of paid time off. I can take a half day if you need me to. And I think, A, I don't like being here by myself, making all the decisions. And, you know, I'm sad and lonely. And I don't want to be here by myself. And B, it's probably best if he just pays it out front. Because I was going to pay for it and he was going to pay me back. And it was going to be this whole thing. And so I'm like, you know what? Yeah, why don't you go ahead, take a half day and come on down. And, you know, his boss was fine with it. HR was fine with it. You know, I mean, his car was broken and he needed to pay to fix it. He kind of needed to be there, you know, technically. But, so he leaves about 11. That's when he takes his lunch. He comes on down. You know, we wait a few more minutes, come back. Just as I suspected, it's a battery thing. And the reason service power steering came on is because his power steering is electric, I think. So that needed, like, since the battery was wonky, that triggered the power steering light, but it's just the battery. And then they're like, we should also do the transmission and the spark plugs and something else because the car is over 5 years old and all this other stuff. And he's like, well, yeah, okay. If we don't get it taken care of, it's going to be more expensive down the road, which brought the bill up to like $1,088. But we're like, you know what? This is what we have savings for. We'll just pay for it and get it over with. And he's like, great. The car will be done at 4:30. And this was like at 12:30. So we have 4 hours to kill. Luckily, since Joseph brought my cart down, we were able to just drive to a mall nearby. We had lunch because he had yet to eat. And I had yet to eat. I skipped breakfast. I had like a very bland bag of Kirkland peanuts that they had in the vending machine, but that's it. But we had lunch. And we looked around the different shops and the different things they had. And we're thinking, wow, this is a lot nicer than the mall that we used to go. And this is despite the fact that like a quarter of the stores are closed because they went out of business. Like, it's clear they're not just closed, they're closed forever. Anyway, so we just sort of pal around the mall, just looking at stuff. We buy a few things. We go into stores we wouldn't usually go into because it's a Monday afternoon. There's hardly anyone there. And, you know, we check out the different kinds of things they have. Like, this mall has, like, a sword fighting studio, which my husband was very interested in. You know, and they have a dance class with Zumba, so I thought that was pretty cool. And, you know, they have all these different play places for kids, so they aren't just all crammed into one space like in our other mall. And the food court is so nice. They have so many different options. And I'm like, we are never going back to that mall with the crap parking and the same stores every single time that we're coming to this mall. It's easier to get to because it's not in the middle of the worst place to drive ever. And sorry, there was a neighbor. I probably looked like a crazy person talking to myself. Anyway, so yeah, we just played around the mall. 4:30 came. We drove back. Our car was ready, and we went home and just crashed. And that was my entire day yesterday. And it was a pain in the butt, but it's over with, and then we don't have to deal with it for a very, very long time. But needless to say, I didn't have time to walk, nor did I have the energy or willingness to walk. But we walked around the mall, so I'd say that counts for at least a good half mile at the very least. Anyway, so I was going to talk about other stuff, but this story took longer than I thought. But at least it was a good talking point. So I'll talk about other stuff tomorrow. All right, bye.